Hello there.
So, ladies and gentlemen, quick little story time with Elie Moses here. So we're streaming on the weekend, and we're talking about bringing the movie reactions back. And I do need to bring the movie reactions back. And one of the series we discussed was, doing the OG James Bond films, which I haven't seen, which will be absolutely amazing. I've seen the Craig ones, but the OG James Bond films, I feel like it would be great to get a run through of those. And also, a lot of you mentioned, Elie, you should try some Stephen King films. And I searched up Stephen King movies, and I have seen a lot of them. I didn't know a lot of the films that were considered one of the greatest films of all time were based off Stephen King novels. I hold my hands up and I apologize for that. Like, for instance, Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, which I own on 4K. Big up the physical media owners right there. But yeah, I had no idea. And, we went through a list of them, and, a couple of you in the live stream chat said, Elie, you should check out Misery. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? My name is Elie Moses, a 24-year-old law and film student here for Sydney, Australia. Absolutely shooting his shot, and today we are going to be checking out Stephen King's Misery for the very first time. This one is directed by Rob Reiner, which I'm very excited because he did The Princess Bride and he also did Stand By Me. So I am hella excited for this one. And yeah, I rented the film just right now on Amazon Prime for $5 because they said Amazon Prime had it, but it was rental or buy. Like we pay for streaming services, but the films need to be rented for some reason. They do have it, but at a catch. But yeah, let's get into the reaction. Let's have some fun with this thing. And as always, let's absolutely freaking smash it. Let's go. Oh man, it feels good to be watching a movie for the channel again. Haven't done it in a minute. I think the last one we did was Underwater, I believe, back in Halloween. So yeah, it feels good. It feels good. And this is based on the recommendation of the subscribers too. So I'm hella excited. You guys never let me down. Obviously, in the comment section, let me know some Stephen King films that you would like me to watch. I am considering Cujo and Pet Sematary, which I haven't seen. So yeah, if I haven't seen it, I will definitely check it out. I love going into a film or TV show not having seen even a screenshot of it. Not even on Twitter, nothing. YouTube, nothing. I've just seen the movie poster. That's it. Bro's just finished his magnum opus. James Caan, man, one of the greats. Love seeing him all the time. Hey, bro might have got a concussion, but at least he saved the script.
It's nice, Paul. It's got character.
L'amour de
I wrote
misery.
my first book. I used to carry it around in this while I was looking for a publisher. I was a writer then.
You're still a writer.
If I hadn't gotten rid of it now, I'd have ended up writing it forever. Now I'm leaving for Colorado to try to finish the new book. If I can make this work, I might just have something I want on my tombstone.
Hey, all good stories come to an end, man. I shouldn't be laughing, I'm sorry. But just snowy CPR goes crazy.
I'll take good care of you. I'm your number one fan.
Oh, he's gonna be in for it.
We're just outside Silver Creek. Yes, that's right. I'm also a nurse. Here, take these.
Not the red pill. If you know, you know. Bro, these injuries got him, looking like Mike from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. What are the odds?
hospital.
What are the odds he's number one
The blizzard
fan?
was too strong. I couldn't risk trying to get you there.
Stumbles across him like
I
that.
tried calling, but the phone lines are down.
Will I be able to walk?
Of course you will. And your arm will be fine, too. Your shoulder was pretty badly dislocated. It was a little stubborn, but I finally popped it back in.
He can do everything.
What I'm most proud of is the work I did on those legs. Considering what I had around the house, I don't think there's a doctor who could have done any better.
Hey, yo.
You have a compound fracture of the tibia in both legs, and the fibula in the right leg is fractured, too. I could hear the bones moving, so it's best for your legs to remain immobile. And as soon as the road's open, I'll take you to a hospital. In the meantime, you've got a lot of recovering to do. And I consider it an honor that you'll do it in my home.
Did she just visually diagnose the compound fracture in the tibula and fibula? Has she seen it before? And that's sort of like the reaction the body has to it? Or does she have an x-ray machine lying around somewhere, man? Or she just must be a medical expert. She must be a doctor. Because my guy's a complete write-off at the moment.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're both not busy, Miss Sindel, since they're both me. I also happen to be president of the Benefit Association, chairman of the Patrolman's Retirement Fund. And if you need a good fishing guide, you could do a lot worse.
Bro's collected all the
blessed.
accolades.
Everybody does.
All the titles.
If anything turns up, I'll call you right back.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Goodbye, Miss Sindel.
Wait.
For our system, if anything turns up, I'll call you right back.
Oh,
It's not there.
thanks a lot.
Goodbye, Miss Sindel. I'll put it
That was so odd because I feel like they
next to
cut
our
that scene
system.
different. Like on the first go, he puts it, in the top middle, and then when they cut to the extreme close-up shot, it's like
If anything turns
in-
up, I'll call you right
in
back.
between the two papers, and then
Oh,
it's
I appreciate it.
not there in
Thanks a
the
lot.
wide long
Goodbye,
shot.
Miss Sindel.
Just a nitpick, but like,
We got a phone call. Busy morning.
Yeah, work.
and the car probably
This was
hasn't
kind
been
of a
found
miracle, you
because
finding me.
it's been covered by the blizzard.
No, it wasn't a miracle at all. I try to imagine what was going on in the room of the world's greatest writer.
Say the last part again. I didn't hear you.
Don't move now. I don't want to hurt this neck. Oh, Paul, I've read everything of yours. The misery novels. I know them all by heart.
Does she
All
know?
8 of them.
Does she
I
know?
love them so.
Does she know?
Very kind.
Does she know?
And you're very brilliant. Like a baby. All done. If you wouldn't mind.
Well, I do have a very hard and fast rule as to who reads my stuff at this early stage. And my editor, my agent, and anybody that saves me from freezing to death in a car wreck.
Aw. Hey, you gotta be careful, man, because you don't want leaks getting out, Twitter and all that,
You'll never realize what a rare treat you've given me.
Reddit,
Boy, it's like clockwork the way your pain comes. I'll get you your novel, Paul. Forgive me for prattling away and making you feel all oogie.
Oogie. Damn. You really babying him.
Who'll call?
I don't have a title yet.
What's it about?
It's called Untitled Remastered. Kendrick
Well.
Lamar.
I know it sounds crazy, but I haven't written anything but misery for so long. Why don't you read it? You can tell me what you think it's about. Maybe you can come up with a title.
Like I could do that.
Maybe the novel's like numbing him in a way.
Sheldon's leaving, Buster. You can tell by the champagne. See, he always orders a bottle of Dom Perignon when he's ready to go.
Hey, Dom Perignon.
Door.
No long distance phone calls or Federal Express packages.
Yeah, the profanity bothers you.
It has no nobility.
Slum kids. I was a slum kid. Everybody talks like that.
He writing
do
from personal.
not?
He writing from personal
What do
experience.
you think I say when I go to the feed store in town? Oh, now, Wally, give me a bag of that effing pig feed and 10 pounds of that bitchly cow corn. And in the bank, do I tell Mrs. Bollinger, oh, here's one big bastard of a check. Give me some of your Christing money? There, look there. See what you made me do? Oh, Paul, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Sometimes I get so worked up. Can you ever forgive me?
Look at bro's eyes.
I love you, Paul.
Hey, we do not be throwing around that.
Your mind, your creativity. That's all I meant.
What's with the mushroom paintings, man? You got the mushroom paintings above him, right there on the table next to him as well. Hey, yo, Buster!
Virginia, when you're in this car, you're not my wife, you're my deputy.
Get your hands back on the wheel, girl.
Home under the covers with the sheriff.
Hey, separate work from the personal life. You gotta love it. Gotta respect the hustle.
Could have been the weight of the snow.
Yeah, could have been a rotten branch, could have been the wind, could have been a lot of things.
I knew it was buried underneath the blizzard. Insane, man. Insane.
And he said as long as there's no infection, you're not in any danger. And as soon as the road to the hospital is open, they'll send an ambulance for you.
But the phones are working.
The phone's working.
Well, mine's still out, but the ones in town were working just fine. I called that agent of yours. Oh, Paul. I peeked at the very beginning. What a wonderful first page. Just to read the name Misery
My daughter's
Chastain.
gonna be going nuts.
It's like a visit from my oldest, dearest
She's supposed to
friend.
be home for her birthday. It's today.
The agent said she would tell her you were okay, but I'm afraid you'll have to wait till tomorrow if you want to talk to her yourself. Paul, what a poet you are.
She really killing this performance. I have to admit, she really killing it. The range on display from Kathy Bates is phenomenal here. The ability to like phase in and out.
Scrambled eggs a la Wilkes. And I'm on page. Oh, pooh. I can't think of any words. Would great be insulting?
I can live with Ray.
No, it's not just great. It's perfect. A perfect thing.
Wait, so is that like the very first book published in hard copy or hardcover? Because he hasn't released the final one yet, right? And for someone, yeah, is she just getting a newer edition of a different, like, of the same book? Just a different version of it? Because, yeah, for someone supposedly his number one fan, he would have all the copies of his books. Now, what's Babe doing here?
I thought it was time you two should meet.
He's psychotic,
say hello
man.
to my favorite beast in the whole world, my Sal, Misery.
Misery.
Yes, I told you I was your number one fan.
Yeah, she's a fine, pig is what she is.
I'm on page 300 now, Paul. And it's better than perfect. It's divine. What's the ceiling that Dago painted? Yeah, that and Misery's child. Those are the only two divine things ever in this world.
Oh, man. Oh, nah, man. Nah. I don't care what broken femur, tibula, fibula, freaking slip disc you have. I'll be getting out of there.
My husband left me. I wasn't prepared. It wasn't an easy time. For a while, I thought I might go crazy.
I know how that can be.
Of course, I suppose you had a little something to do with that, too.
But clearly,
Yeah, well,
Annie is probably a very, very lonely individual. Something tragic has happened in her past to the point she became so lonely and distraught and she clung on to misery as like, you know, her only thing in life, basically, and that gave her a sense of comfort and belonging in the world, some fictional character, some fictional world, some fictional book. And that's why when it comes to probably dealing with humans, possibly because of this past trauma or tragic event that's happened, yeah, she is not all there.
I just kept reading them over and over. I've only got 2 chapters to go on this one, and I know when I finish, I'll just turn right to the first page and start reading it all over again.
She got early access, man.
I'm
Done?
yeah, lightly.
It boils down to respect. People just don't respect the institution of marriage anymore. They have no sense of real commitment.
I mean, she is kind of right. I feel like she onto something.
I'd love to stay here and chat, but I'm right at the end, and I gotta find out what happens. You dirty bird. How could you? She can't be dead. Misery Chastain cannot be dead.
Wallahi, it's an early
In
draft.
1871, women often died in childbirth. But her spirit is the important thing, and Misery's spirit is still alive.
I don't want her dead! I want her! And you murdered her!
No, I didn't.
Who did?
No one.
Guys, just blame it on anyone.
She died. She just slipped away.
Slipped away! Slipped away! She didn't just slip away! You did it! You did it! You did it! You did it! You murdered my misery!
Eddie!
I thought you were good, Paul. But you're not good.
Bro, it's an early draft.
You're
Just say
a
that.
lying old dirty birdie. And I don't think I better be around you for a while.
The other draft is with my daughter or something. I don't know. Lie. Just say something.
The doctors, not your agent, not your family.
Oh, she's...
Because I never called them.
Oh, it's so Jehovah, man.
Nobody knows you're here. And you better hope nothing happens to me. Because if I die, you die.
Yeah, I feel like she was staring into my soul right there, man. Like, she's the original Stan. I know, you know, this film came out before that, you know, term was coined in pop culture, but she is the OG Stan. Like, what the heck, man? But I really appreciate the lighting in that scene. I think the lighting was absolutely fantastic. I think it was so well made out to be naturally lit from the moonlight, which is we saw before, the establishing shot of the moon, and then you had that coming through, the rays from the moon coming through the window, and you had that sort of low angle, medium wide, long shot of her basically staring into Paul's soul, and I feel like she was staring into my soul right there. It was daunting. It was really, really well done. The range Kathy Bates is displaying in this film in the first 29 minutes is unbelievable. Like, her ability to phase in and out of different characters or like different expressions, different tones of voice is really, really great. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. And we've basically only seen this room in the house as well. And we really gonna rely on Buster. Buster need to come through. She got a baby by Buster.
Yes, we're working close with the state police, and the FBI's been informed.
Did he also...
Right.
With the Sistine Chapel thing, Michelangelo
Soon as we know
painted the
anything,
Sistine
we'll
Chapel,
let you
right?
know. No
I
bother
swear
at
they
all.
said someone else,
Call
and he just went
anytime.
along with it, with
Bye,
who
Miss
she thought
Adele.
actually painted it.
All right. Well, I sure appreciate it.
There you go. Comfy?
Perfect.
Such a kidder. A big surprise for you.
Bro's like, F my
First, there's
life.
something you must do.
That was that facial expression
I
right there.
suppose I could have a little snack.
But this time I thought clearly. I asked God about you, and God said, I delivered him unto you so that you may show him the way.
This is
Show me the way.
this is the way.
Yes.
Oh man, God basically said he's in your hands right now. That is not what you want to hear from God. God let him down. Please tell me he has another draft.
When I mentioned a snack, I was thinking more along the lines of cheese and crackers kind of thing.
Paul, this is no time for jokes. You must rid the world of this filth.
It's really not difficult at all. My agent made dozens of copies. There's going to be an auction in New York. Every publishing house in New York is reading it now. So if you want me to burn my book, fine.
You
It's
gotta
not really ridding the world of anything.
you gotta lie your way through it,
Then
man.
light the match, Paul.
It's no big deal.
So you vindicated. Do it. But they did, and ever since you've never made any copies because you're superstitious. That's why you always come back to the Silver Creek Lodge. You told that story to Merv Griffin 11 years ago.
You know everything.
Paragraph.
Now you're just waiting for her to instantly
Can't you
flip.
see it's what God wants? You're so brilliant, I would think you'd certainly be able to see that.
He one flew over the cuckoo's nest crazy, man.
We're put on this earth to help people, Paul. Like I'm trying to help you.
Don't you have a son to look after? The water
Please.
boy? Bobby Boucher? Someone?
Help me help
Please?
you.
I mean, the legs are already cooked. You don't need to torch them. Like...
You're doing the right thing. Oh, my goodness! Goodness gracious! Oh, my! Oh, goodness! Heavens to Betsy! Oh, goodness! Oh, my goodness! Heavens to Betsy! Oh, goodness!
Heavens to Betsy. And yet we still haven't seen any other internal sections of the
That's
house.
the Stedman place down there. That's the Wilkes farm straight ahead.
Here's your novel.
Can we talk about the James Carr? Yeah, James Caan, sorry. His ability to perform, his ability to give this stellar performance from just a bedside, that's it. Just a bed sofa. I know we've seen him, obviously, in the car, at the other, the Silver Creek Lodge, and in his agent's office. But predominantly, what he's done so far is absolutely fantastic. Just by laying on a mattress. That was the first time we were seeing something else. Or some other room in the household. Our first glimpse at Annie Wilkes' house. House? Room, sorry.
See, isn't this nice?
Great. I always wanted to visit the other side of the room.
And look what I got for you. An electric razor. Your new studio. After all, writers do need a place to work.
Oh, she gonna make him rewrite the book?
You mean write? What in the world do you think I'd write?
Oh, but Paul, I don't think. I know. Now that you've gotten rid of that nasty manuscript, you can go back to doing what you're great at. You're gonna write a new novel. Your greatest achievement ever. Misery's Return. I got you this expensive paper to type on. And I got a great deal on this 50-pound clunker on account of its missing an N. I told the sales lady N was one of the letters in my favorite writer's name.
It's two of the letters of my favorite nurse's name, Annie.
You fooler. Did I do good?
You did great.
He's just gotta play into it, man.
There is just one little thing. I can't work on this paper. See, it's crassable bond and it smudges. So I thought maybe if you went back into town, you could bring me some white long range.
Hey, she forked it all out. She's like, my paper cost the
It
most.
does smudge after all. Isn't that fascinating?
I thought you'd be interested. I'd like for you to be in on everything, Annie, not just the finished book, but how it's written.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Hey, whoever sold her that paper
Anything else I can get while I'm in town?
is in trouble.
Any other crucial requirements that need satisfying? Would you like a tiny tape recorder? Or how about a handmade set of writing slippers?
Yo, her ego got hurt.
The paper will be fine.
Are you sure? Because if you want, I'll bring back the whole store for you.
She would as well. I wouldn't doubt it.
What's the matter? I'll tell you what's the matter. I go out of my way for you. I do everything to try and make you happy. I feed you, I clean you, I dress you, and what thanks do I get?
Oh, you bought the wrong paper, Annie. I can't write on this paper, Annie.
Well, I'll get your stupid paper, but you just better start showing me a little more appreciation around here, Mr. Man.
That was uncalled for. And I love when she rages. It's always like sort of like a low angle camera shot looking up to her. And she's probably not the tallest individual, but it almost ensures, and you know, when they use the close-up shots or extreme close-up shots with this low angle camera shot looking up at her, it gives off this sort of like Hulk-like presence for her. If you've seen The Sopranos, you know they did it a lot of the time with Tony Soprano, to have him as this sort of towering figure and this imposing figure over a lot of the characters in the series. And I feel like they're doing it here with Annie Wilkes as well. So when she goes in these fits of rage, and they do cut to sort of like the low angle camera shot looking up or the extreme close-up shots of her face, it's almost as if she's consuming everything and she empowers everything in the scene. It's really cool stuff. And Kathy Bates' performance is crazy. Like, I've already said it. No pun intended. Hopefully she doesn't recognize the hair clip missing. Go for the phone, something. Not the front door. Exactly, thank you. I feel like we're unlocking the mystery box that is the house at the moment, because I feel like the production design or whatever, you know, artifact she has in the background are little Easter eggs about her life, and we've only been confined to the bedroom this entire time. I mean, we saw her bedroom.
You crazy bitch.
We almost lost Happy Feet, man. Oh, he put it the reverse way. She's gonna know. She's gonna know. Gonna know. He knows everything, bro. He's omnipotent in this house. Also, he's probably met so many fans. Yeah, and she's got multiple copies of the books. Or maybe she purchased the signed copy. Bro locked in. Bro locked in. What's going to be his undoing is Happy Feet. That's going to be his undoing. Come on. We need a Dominic Toretto that wheelchair. Yep, yep. Back it up, back it up. Hit the nos, hit the nos. I mean, the sweat might be a dead giveaway.
dripping with perspiration.
He needed to go.
Color is very hectic. What have you been doing?
You know damn well what I've been doing. I've been sitting here suffering. I need my pills.
Let's get you back in bed and I'll get them for you.
I want my pills now.
It'll only take a second.
No! I want my pain to go away, Annie. Please, make it go away. Please, Annie.
It just breaks my heart to see you like this. Tootsie's up.
Hopefully he can find a way to slip the novel into some sort of food for her. They can eat at the same time or something. I don't know, like a dinner date.
Don't be silly. You'll be brilliant. Think of me as your inspiration.
Swell.
I have faith in you, my darling. Catch this. Mwah!
Come on, Buster.
Must now be that Paul Sheldon is dead.
Come on, his car was hinged from the outside.
You don't think he's dead, do you?
You see the dents on the door there. Someone pulled him out.
Come on, we gotta report that. We gotta report that. Give the family some hope. Give the agent some hope. I knew he was gonna slip it in somehow. He's making the ultimate novel pack. Let it out. Let it out.
It's not worthy of you. Throw it all out. Except for that part of naming the gravedigger after me. You can leave that in.
I really value your criticism.
Paul, what you've written just isn't fair.
Not fair.
That's right. When I was growing up in Bakersfield, my favorite thing in all the world was to go to the movies on Saturday afternoons for the chapter plays. I know that, Mr. Man. They also call them serials. I'm not stupid, you know. And just before the car went off the cliff, he jumped free, and all the kids cheered. But I didn't cheer. I stood right up and started shouting, "This isn't what happened last week. Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car."
They always cheated like that in chapter.
Not you.
He's so...
Not with my misery. Remember, Ian did ride for Dr. Cleary at the end of the last book, but his horse fell jumping that fence, and Ian broke his shoulder and his ribs and lay all night in the ditch, and he never reached the doctor. So there couldn't have been any experimental blood transfusion that saved her life.
James Caan's comedic timing, or like his not just his comedic timing, his line delivery timing in this film has been superb. And the delivery has been superb.
You better. Oh, Paul. When Ian realized that the reason they'd buried Misery alive was because the bee sting had put her in that temporary coma, and when Gravedigger Wilkes remembered how 30 years earlier the same thing had happened to Lady Evelyn Hyde, and then old Dr. Cleary deduced Misery must be Lady Evelyn Hyde's long-lost daughter because of the rarity of deadly bee stings, my heart just leapt! I known from the very first book that Misery had to be born of nobility, and I was right.
Yeah.
Will she be her old self now that Ian has dug her out, or will she have amnesia?
Have to wait.
Will she still love him with that special, perfect love?
You'll have to wait.
Not even a hint?
He's just
Misery's alive! Misery's alive! Oh, it's so romantic! Oh, this whole house is gonna be filled with romance. I'm gonna put on my Liberace records.
almost as if she's like an innocent child that's just been spoiled.
You do like Liberace, don't you? I'm gonna play my records all day long to inspire you. He's my all-time favorite.
You can go from like,
Would you have dinner with me tonight?
I knew it, 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 I knew it. He's got to feed into her.
I couldn't have done it without you.
You got to feed into her ego, man, and he's doing that perfectly.
Oh, Paul, it would be an honor.
She can go into like,
No, he's not here.
spoiled 6, 7-year-old. Like, yeah, she can go into that childlike state. And then she can go into like #1 fan state, and then she can go into like psychotic serial killer state. Like, it's absolutely great stuff.
I don't know where he is. He never tells me anything anymore.
All in one shot as well.
Probably out having an affair somewhere.
Hey.
I hope you like it.
It looks wonderful. So do you.
Is the table being held up? Yeah, by a couple of books and I believe like a biscuit tray.
My secret is I only use fresh tomatoes, never canned. And to give it that little extra zip, I mix in some Spam with the ground beef.
Ah.
Like we've only.
Did you study decorating, or do you just have a flair?
Oh, you. I just
Well, certainly says you.
really think so.
Okay, that was pretty slick.
Absolutely.
That was pretty good.
Listen, if you can't find any, it's okay. I just thought it'd be nice.
To Misery and to Annie Wilkes, who brought her back to life.
Oh, Paul, I get goosebumps every time I think about it.
It's so awkward.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry, Paul. I ruined your beautiful toast. Oh. Will you ever forgive me?
Did she clumsily do that on
Here, let me
purpose?
pour another one. Can we pretend this never happened?
Did she somehow know?
Misery.
Misery.
Damn. That novel haul just went straight out the window. How long has he been here, man? Couple weeks, possibly? Gotta love the Dutch angle. Military presses with the typewriter.
Here's your pills.
Annie, what is it?
The rain. Sometimes it gives me the blues. When you first came here, I only loved the writer part of Paul Sheldon. But now I know I love the rest of him too.
Bro, gotta get out. Bro, gotta get out.
I know you don't love me. Don't say you do. Soon you'll be wanting to leave.
Why would I leave? I like it here.
That's very kind of you. But I'll bet it's not altogether true.
Cold. Cold.
I have this gun. Sometimes I think about using it. I better go now. I might put bullets in it.
Killing stuff. Change in demeanor, the delivery, her look. She's not as bright and bubbly as she usually is. Again with the Dutch angle. Her father? Or her husband? Okay, so she was head of the intensive care unit and... in remembrance. Okay, so she lost... Okay, so there was a recurrence of events where a lot of newborns died as she was the head of intensive care. Or parental care, sorry. But did she kill a bunch of infants? Or was responsible for all those infants' deaths? How'd she beat the case? Not enough evidence, possibly? Holy... What in the Scooby-Doo thunderstorm noises is this?
I know you've been out.
Knew it. I knew it. She was gonna clock onto it. Oh, hell not. Alright, chat, we're cooked, right? Chat, we're cooked.
You've been out of your room.
No, I haven't.
Paul. My little ceramic penguin in the study always faces due south.
The happy feet. I knew it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Ceramic penguin.
Is this what you're looking for? I know you've been out twice, Paul. First, I couldn't figure out how you did it. But last night, I found your key.
Did she look in his pants?
I know I left my scrapbook out. That would be like junking a Mercedes just because it had a broken spring. No, if they caught them, they had to make sure they could go on working.
Junking your
But they
Mercedes
also
or
had to
a
make sure they could
Mercedes?
never run away.
Did she tamper with his
The
vehicle?
operation
Or
was
no?
called hobbling.
Eddie, for God's...
Shh, darling. Trust me.
God's sake.
Eddie, please!
Damn!
Almost done. Just one. God, I love you.
God, I hate you. He should write a book about this. 100%. No one gonna believe this shit. Come on, I need Buster and Virginia to come through. Come on, Buster. Come on, Buster. Did she use a phrase from his book?
Leave it, all right?
Oh, I like that tone.
Oi, yo,
I
Virginia!
have to tell you, I have a system here.
What is it?
I'm not sure. Maybe nothing.
Well, I'm glad you found it.
Best sheriff and best deputy ever. He liked that spice. He liked the spice. Don't tell me that's her in the background. That's a familiar hairstyle right there. Oh, so she been in hiding out here potentially. That's what he's heard the phrase before. She used the phrase from the Misery books. Back to square one.
Such a kidder.
Hey, that middle finger came from the heart, man. That was disgust, that one.
Buster? No. Typing kind. Well, that kind. Nothing odd about that. Ms. Wilkes done something? Not a thing.
Buster's on the case, man. We got Buster. Hey, this is the first car he's hearing and seeing that's not hers. He gonna be rejoicing. He been through it. He been through the walls. He been through agony, man. Damn it. She's psychotic, man.
I tend to you practically 24 hours a day, and you continue to fight me.
Damn, she got a Harry Potter room.
Sense of trust.
Right under the staircase. She got a dungeon.
Well, here I am, prattling on, and my manners have just blown away. I haven't invited you in. Please.
Thank you.
That accident almost killed me, too. I prayed when I heard the news. I got down on my knees and I begged for it not to be true. You're going to laugh at what I'm about to say, but go ahead. I don't care. God told me, since I was his #1 fan, that I should make up news stories as if I was Paul Sheldon. So I went to town and I bought a typewriter and paper to type on, the same kind Paul Sheldon used. And I turned the guest bedroom into a writing studio. Would you like to see it?
Sure.
It's right this way.
She's trying to cover all loose ends, cover all her tracks.
Must get lonely living out here all by yourself.
Well, I always say if you can't enjoy your own company, you're not fit company for anyone else.
Well, you've got a point there.
Hey, he doubled back on that. She's gonna hear him walk up the stairs anyway. No offense to Buster, but I think Annie might physically overpower him. How does she have dead silence or something, man? He's gonna have the cocoa.
Here you are.
Oh, thanks, Miss Wilkes, but I don't want to take up any more of your time.
Did he notice something? Nice. Nice. Now he noticed something.
Miss Wilkes?
Here! I'm down here! Down here!
Mr. Sheldon?
No! Fuck! We lost my boy!
Don't feel bad, Paul. It was bound to happen sooner or later. It's a
Man.
sign.
All
You
sense of...
see, I've known for some time why I was chosen to save you. I put 2 bullets in my gun.
One for each of us.
One for you and one for me.
Yep.
Oh, darling, it'll be so beautiful.
Poetic.
We have the power to give misery eternal life.
Gotta feed into it.
We must finish the book.
But the time is now.
No, this
Soon
ain't John
others
Cena,
will come.
man.
It's almost finished. By dawn, we'll be able to give misery back to the world.
I'll fix you something to eat.
Bro. Buster's just lying there. On the staircase. Hey, the ends aren't there. The ends aren't there. For 3 days, Ed.
Oh, Paul, I'm dying. Does she wind up with Ian or Winthorne?
You'll know very soon. I've just started the last chapter. You know.
What things?
You mean you don't know?
I was fooling, silly. You need a cigarette because you used to smoke, but you quit, except when you finish a book. And you have just one. And the match is to light it. 1 glass of champagne. Dom Perignon.
Dom Perignon.
Dom Perignon it is.
Dom Perignon, really? Really? Dom Perignon. Dom Perignon, man. Come on. Come on. One last trick up his sleeve. Burn the house. Let the whole town know.
Did I do good?
Except for one thing. This time we'll need 2 glasses.
Oh, Paul.
It's almost as if she becomes in trance. Like she's in a trance whenever he speaks whatever she wants into existence. You can see it in her eyes. A little taste of your own medicine.
Remember how for all those years nobody knew who Misery's real father was? Or if they'd ever be reunited?
I'm her daddy.
It's all right here. Will she finally marry Ian? Or will it be Winthorne? It's all right here.
Paul, you can't!
Why not? I learn it from you.
No, misery! My misery! No, not my misery!
Those military presses came in handy. Out the window, out the window. Hey, what? No swearing. She got super strength, man. Not the eye pokes, man. That's illegal in the UFC. Oh! Roman Reigns! Goldberg spear!
You want it? You want it? Eat it! Yourself, you sick, twisted fuck!
Yo, he been filming that in. Oh, no, not the low blow. I swear, if she has some second wind. Right on the temple. Love that overhead wide shot right here. I love it. I knew it! She got dead silence on. No one can hear her coming. She looking like Carrie. That'll do it. Man, this has been such a ride. What a film. What a film. 18 months. Guessing somebody in town found him. Hopefully Virginia.
That'll be a first.
And my contacts at Time and Newsweek tell me they're both raves. And don't laugh. For the first time, I think you've got a shot at some prizes. Great. I thought you'd be thrilled. Paul, since you brought her up, I have to ask you this or I'll be drummed out of the agents union. How would you feel about a non-fiction book about what went on in that house?
I was about to say, you could write a book about it.
I know you better. I think you were suggesting I dredge up the worst horror of my life just so we could make a few bucks.
Yep. She is his agent.
I thought you were over it.
I don't know if anyone could ever totally get over something like that. It's weird. I still think about it once in a while.
Excuse me. I don't mean to bother you, but are you Paul Sheldon?
Yes.
I just want to tell you I'm your #1 fan.
Oh, here we go again.
That's very sweet of you.
You don't want to hear that ever again. You could say, like... Hey, I'm glad I rented that film, man. I'm glad I decided to watch music. I feel like that was really, really well made. That was really well made, really well acted. It had it. Listen, it doesn't rely heavily on jump scares. It's more that suspense, thriller type. I don't know. I think it relies more on like, yeah. Oh, how do I explain it? It relies more on the performance, and I feel like in a way, I know it's meant to be this like sort of chaotic experience, and Kathy Bates brings that to the table with her performance as this psychotic, murderous individual. But I feel like the film has this like undeniable charm to it a little bit as well, and I think Khan brings that to the table as well with his line delivery, with the way he sometimes responds to the situation, and he sort of like embraces what's going on with his number one fan, in a way. And yeah, it was such a great film to watch. And I think as well, Buster, Virginia, they have this undeniable charm to them, with their chemistry, with the way they go back and forth with one another, their banter as well. You sort of gravitate towards them, even though they're in the film for not as much. They still play an important role. And yeah, it's unfortunate what happened to Buster, man, because Virginia would have been in all sorts. I keep thinking about that. Like, it was such an undeserved death, but like, if you want to continue to root against Annie, I mean, we're rooting against her from the beginning. Like, it's just, yeah, why not kill one of the most charming characters in the film? Or like, what, like he has such a good heart, he's so charming. It's just dead, bang, shotgun to the back. But yeah, I feel like that was such a well-made film. I think cinematography fantastic, lighting fantastic, and like, this film would have been made on such a very low budget, especially there's not many locations used, and yeah, predominantly we're confined to the Wilkes household. So their ability to create such an investing to create such an investing experience just in the one household is fantastic. Like, I was engrossed the entire time, and I think that is thanks to Kathy Bates' performance, because it's because of her character. It's so unpredictable, and you don't know how she's going to respond to certain situations. You saw the very first outburst, and then in a matter of moments she'll have that switch up, back to her Stan character, back to her number one fan character. And sometimes she'll be behaving like an innocent little child, and then she'd be a psychotic murderous individual. And then, she'd get the blues from the thunderstorm, for instance. She'd be completely different. She won't be this like bright, bubbly sort of bipolar individual that can switch it up in an instant. It was great. And I feel like they both complemented each other well, in terms of like their acting performances. So yeah, the premise, not that complicated, very simple, and I think it was executed really, really well. I think I had a great time watching this film, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm interested to see if upon a rewatch you notice little Easter eggs or tidbits possibly in the production design alluding to Kathy Bates' character potentially, or yeah, maybe something sort of foreshadowing. I think the obvious one was the penguin pointing south, for instance, or like, that was going to be, that was a little bit of foreshadowing in the script, hinting at her figuring out what he's up to, and then, her having the nurse experience, the nurse background. She completely has all the resources, medically, to do what she wants to him. So yeah, sedated him. But yeah, I think it was such a great film. I really enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. And I tend to appreciate these older films I watch on the channel from a technical perspective so much, because I think so much thought and care is given to how scenes are shot. And I appreciate sometimes the long extended takes. Especially like one of the cool ones was Buster talking to Annie, and then obviously the camera continued to follow him out of the room, and then the way it was framed, she was peeking out of the kitchen, he was peeking out of the room, he went back in the room, she peeked back out at the same time, and it was all done in one long extended take before he went up the stairs. I thought it was really, 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 really well done. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Misery, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. It's been your boy Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.